forgive me for doing this in the bathroom, but I come to the bathroom to think. And what I've been thinking about for the last 20-something minutes is that for about 18 years, I was a slave of my mother, Irene. From 2001 until 2019, I was not allowed to go where I wanted. I was not allowed to be with who I wanted. I was not allowed to walk down the street without my mother's permission. For the period of time from 2001 until 2005, we lived in the Huntington Cove apartments in Maryville, and even though they were in the parking lot of the mall, I was not allowed to walk to the mall from the age of 10 until 15. And from 15 until, 29, I was not allowed, from 15 until, 18 or so, I was not allowed to walk from Maryville High School until to Pierce Middle School so I could remain a planetarium assistant, which precluded me from helping out when the Planetarium Association, the Maryville Community Planetarium Corporation, hosted the Great Lakes Planetarium Association that we were supposed to host, that we did host in I think roughly 2008 or so. I was not allowed to have friends over to the house ever, not once, except for one time after I was almost killed and came out of the hospital. One friend was able to come into the house once, but even at my own open house, everybody was outside of the house. They did walk through the house in one period, but that was once and only on 2 different days in the 18 years I lived there with her. I cleaned, I cooked, I prepared things for her. I also stole. I stole thousands and thousands of movies to keep her happy, because when she was watching a movie with me, she was happy and not starving me. She would starve me when she was upset with me. She once said, "You could leave the house or eat again when you give me your father's inheritance, and not until." And I called the police, and they arrested me. As you can tell, I'm black. And they brought me to a hospital, and the hospital said, "There's nothing wrong with you. It seems like your family's the problem," and they released me. And so I became homeless in negative 34-degree wind chill during the day, negative 56-degree wind chill at night. So when it was high noon the following day, I walked in negative 34-degree wind chill down US 30, roughly 10 miles, from St. Margaret, Mercy, and Dyer all the way to the Crown Point U-Haul, so I could get a U-Haul so I could escape. But still wanting my things, my property, I went back to the property, and that's what got me caught. I went to Miller Beach Terrace, and Miller Beach Terrace revealed that I was there to my sociopathic, covetous, Munchausen's by proxy having mother, and she kidnapped me from there and brought me back. I had a bed, and I had a shower, and I had a warm meal for the first time in several days, and I would have been safe at Miller Beach Terrace, but I wasn't, because I trusted somebody with the information that my mother existed, and so she wound up convincing them that I could not stay there. I also trusted my doctor, and he told me not to go to Lightspeed just yet, to make it to her appointment on Monday. That's why I didn't leave the area. You see, my mother's royalty in Indiana. She is a lobbyist, and she knows the governor, and she knows the police chiefs, and she knows everybody that she needs to know to get what she wants. I think she's a registered lobbyist, but she works with the city and the state a lot. She goes down to Indianapolis every other week. And so in Indiana, as long as I live here, I don't think I can be free, which is unfortunate because I've laid down roots here. I founded a company with my inheritance. It was only roughly $2,000 but bonds, but I founded a company that I think will be worth hundreds of millions, if not trillions, if not billions of dollars. I built it in my mother's basement, which she took away from me because she wanted to give her best favorite son a table that he didn't need. I used that kitchen table that was down in the basement that nobody was using to found my company, and everything she's ever taken away from me, she's done because she is a covetous sociopath. She once said, "Everything you own or will ever own belongs to me because I gave birth to you." It was a very nasty pregnancy. She had breast and sacs contractions the entire time, so essentially felt like she was giving birth for 6 months of the 9 months that she held me in her womb. And I remember being born. I remember coming out of her womb and recognizing that I was out and being the happiest I'd ever been. There was an orange room in Livingston, New Jersey, February 1st, 1991. And I didn't cry, but the doctor hit me or pinched me or whatever, and so I kicked him. But, you know, that's how I came into the world. And so, 18 years, not allowed to walk 2 miles, not allowed to walk 2 blocks without her. Aside from the period in which I had a car that I bought from working at a sweatshop for 12-hour days, if not more, during the summer, a sweatshop that she helped run, in Griffith. I got black lung unloading trucks, cardboard out of trucks in a construction place that built grandiose things, and I made enough money to buy a car in 2007 or 2008, and then I had that car all the way till 2010 when she made me give it up. She made me sign it over to my father, and he sold it. It had broken down in New Jersey after I had driven there, and it was still under warranty. The engine was still under warranty. There was no reason why we couldn't just get the engine replaced, given that it was under warranty and it spun a bearing, because his mechanic was legally blind when he was working on it and didn't put any transmission fluid in it after he replaced the transmission. But she made me sign it over under duress, and she would not take me back to the school that I loved because it got me away from her, and I met all the friends that I had at that time at the school, Cornell University. And so she made me sign it over, and I wouldn't have a car for several years. And then in 2016 or 2015 or so, I was able to buy another car with the Social Security underpayment, which I only received because I'm disabled. And so I bought a car with the money and had it for a few years, literally 3 years, until it broke down again. And then from 2017 on, I didn't have a car in this rural state with no public transportation to speak of, except for a bus that doesn't run everywhere.